Hello and welcome to Estate Media on YouTube. Quite a lot has actually transpired in the last couple of days, and I must tell you the events continue to unfold. Right here in Nigeria, there's a lot of discontent on grounds. Nigerian youth is saying they'll no longer tolerate the nonsense going on in this country, and of course, the cry for the protest. Well, the federal government has devised various means to scuttle the planned protest. A couple of people have actually shelved or rather dissociated themselves from participating in the protest. For example, the National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS, Enugu, they have distanced themselves. A couple of will I say, supposed ethnic groups too have distanced themselves. But does that douse the call for the federal government to respond to the plight of its people? At the moment, there's fuel scarcity, transportation has increased. Amidst all of this, telecommunication networks have barred some lines, so some persons cannot make calls, transactions cannot be made, furthering the grouse and the discontent all over. And I think because of this recent development, a lot of people have decided to come out en masse to protest, regardless of how the government views the current situation. As of yesterday, some persons, especially along the Abuja Kaduna Highway Road, they blocked the road, some youth, and they were speaking in house. I'm sure most have seen that across social media, saying that enough of all of this nonsense, enough of the anomalies, enough of the nonchalancy, enough of the lackadaisical attitude. The government must respond to a plight, and there are quite a lot of demands. Now, the federal government has asked a couple of the celebrities who are calling for this protest to indicate themselves. They should be at the forefront of the protest. But what does this say in terms of the breaking down of law and order? Why is the government afraid that this planned protest may devolve into something that one would call or term as an anarchy? Well, the NSAS protest in 2020 is actually sending that deja vu. But it's quite funny how all the security agencies have been so responsive ever since the Nigerian youth have said end bad governance protest will commence on the 1st of August. We've seen the Nigerian police actually hold press conference, the defense headquarters to hold a press conference, the Navy, and even immigration officers. They have actually held press conferences advising and literally putting in subtle threats as to the protest not taking place. Well, Sowore is one strong advocate and he's insisting that the protest must take place. But the question is the fact that when will the government realize that the people are the ones who ask them to be there, the people govern them, the people are the ones who actually gave them the mandate. And one of the responsibilities of the government and the executives is to listen to the plight of the people. So what is President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's government doing? At this time, they're using all forms of division to scuttle or rather douse the effect of this planned protest. They've used ethnicity, they've used religious sentiments, but it seems like the youths are saying, regardless of what you do, we are holding forth and the protest will commence. But with some impediments in place, some telecommunication networks went off, bad lines, but they're saying that it's because NIMSI has not been able to correlate some of the profile or data to some persons' phone numbers, and the deadline was for July 30, thereabout. So that's why they picked up on that. But a couple of Nigerians don't believe it. They feel that the government is responsible for asking these telecommunication networks to shut down or bar some lines so that people will not converge online. It will scuttle communication. It will hinder that convergence or galvanization, just like what transpired during the NSAS protest on October 2020. What's your take on this? A lot of people feel that the protest virus going across the West African state is a call for the leaders in these West African countries to understand that if you operate in democracy, it's not a unitary system of government. It's not an authoritarian system of government. A democratic system of government is a government that is for the people, by the people, and they need to be with the people. So what should President Bola Ahmed Tinubu do now? President Bola Ahmed Tinubu should ensure that food becomes affordable. Food is so expensive. There is no job in the labor market, which is what is also causing most of the discontent. The people are unsatisfied with the modus operandi of government officials and the fact that their plights are not taken seriously. And they're also saying that the wealth of the nation is being given to a select few. So, in other words, the president should ensure that something is done as soon as possible so we do not get to a state of anarchy or war. We're hanging on a precipice. Make sure you subscribe, like, share.